Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we will have some fun making DIY polymer clay jewelry together. Please note that I am not a professional. I've made polymer clay jewelry once or twice before, so this is just how I do it. I do have a pastel roller for rolling the clay out, but if you only have a Perspex roller, it will also work fine. I also have two brands of polymer clay, one from Montmartre, which tends to become very soft, so well, we'll see how that goes, and the usual Fimo. I also have some leftover clay which I stored in these little plastic containers. Then I have a Perspex roller and some cheap plastic clay tools, which works fine. I also use an X-Acto knife for some of the modifying and cutting. I bought some molds to try out and thought of using the small camera, but ended up not using these. I also got these press out molds which work really great for polymer clay. I ordered this jewelry kit from Amazon a while back, which has gold pieces, silver pieces and some plastic pieces for those who are allergic to metal. So I wanted to achieve pastel colored jewelry and mix my darker colors with white clay to achieve those. This is where the pastel roller comes in very handy. It takes quite some time and effort to mix all the colors and get it to a usable clay, especially those which have hardened and dried out a little. So this took quite a little bit of effort and time, I must say. So after quite some time and a lot of rolling, I finally have the colors I'll be using for this jewelry. I wanted to make rectangle necklace charms and stamp them with letters, which I did not have a mold for, so I used a small piece of cardboard to get the shapes the same size when I cut them. Also, the pastel roller makes it quite easy to achieve the same overall thickness on your clay, where with your Perspex roller it's a little more difficult to achieve the same thickness overall. Usually I would use my X-Acto knife to cut shapes out, but I found that this scraper tool actually gave me straighter edges. My husband has a set of these metal press letters which I use to press the letter in the bottom of the rectangles, and then I used a cotton bud to just even out the edges of the letters that was pressed and just to even out all the bumps. You will see here that I really struggled with this pink colored clay as it was very soft and not really easy to work with. I think I also placed it in the fridge for a few minutes and that didn't even do the trick. So yeah, you can see I struggled to remove the clay from the molds, and I had to shape it afterwards with my fingers. Some of the clay pieces I even just left on a piece of baking paper and not bothered to take them off. The yellow color actually worked a lot better, and I used an eye pin and just screw it into the wet clay before it was baked. I've made a few extra rectangle shapes out of other colored clay for the necklace charms and punched out extra circles and star shapes out of the stone and the glitter white colors. I ended up not using all of the clay pieces, but luckily I can still save them for a later stage. I wanted to try out clay sculpting and made a set of cute strawberry studs and strawberry necklace charm. I haven't done this before, but found that it was so much fun, even though it's pretty delicate work, cutting out the small leaves and shaping them without messing up the red heart shape, but came out super cute in the end. When I was done with all the shapes I needed, I packed them into a pan with baking paper underneath. I used a large needle to add holes where needed, making sure that they are not too far from the side and that they are wide enough for the connections to go through easily. That didn't work out quite as well in the end, as you'll see in the blooper section. But yeah, so I took a little baby oil and a cotton bud and just smoothed out any fingerprints and other marks that I might have left on the pieces, and then baked them according to the manufacturer's instructions. And after the pieces were baked and cooled down, I started to lay them out as I planned to connect the pieces. Some of the pieces had a bit of rough edges, especially the pink, as this color was very difficult to handle. So I took a very fine texture sanding paper and just lightly sanded the edges to get them smoothed out. I used gold acrylic and a very fine paintbrush to paint over the stamped letters and the sides of the rectangle necklace charms. I also painted the white dots onto the strawberries and the strawberry jewelry set, and then added flowers and some stripes on some of the blank white shapes that I wanted to turn into studs. And afterwards I used a local brand of waterproof sealant just to protect the acrylic paint from rubbing off. You can use a varnish or any sealant medium for this purpose, just to make sure that the paint stays on the jewelry. I also only sealed the pieces with the acrylic paint and felt that the others did not need any sealant, but sometimes a little bit of shine looks quite great, so it's up to you. I included a little blooper section, but you are welcome to skip over it. It's just a little bit of fun to show what happens behind the scenes. So let's continue with the edited version, and I also thought of adding a touch of sparkle. I took a few shiny beads and charms I had left from a previous project to add to the pieces. I used 2 small craft pliers to assemble the pieces, but I can tell you that this video doesn't show how many rings I lost and shoot away in different directions, but assembling is not as easy as it looks, and yeah, if you don't have a system in place already. I really take my hat off for people making these polymer clay pieces. even for a permanent job. Although fun, it is still a lot of work. You will see that in the concentration process, trying to connect these pieces, I did not even realize that my hands weren't always showing in the camera, so I apologize for this. So when gluing the back pieces, I've heard that the E6000 is usually what is used, but this is also not available in our country, so I used a local brand of glue. I would also suggest to purchase the liquid polymer clay. Although expensive, it is used to secure a layer of clay over the back piece, and by doing so it makes the back pieces more secure. You can also use a little resin if you like, which I've tried before and it really works great. So in the end, I have made key rings, necklace charms, studs and other earrings, which I am very happy with. I don't think this is something I would do as a full-time job, but for fun and making this with my kids is definitely worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you may have learned something. And so I'll leave you with this. Bye friends, and I'll see you in the next one.